What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised. We all grew up with the 3 live-action Narnia movies, produced between 2005 and 2008. But a new version of the Chronicles of Narnia, produced by Netflix, is coming soon. From original actors making an appearance in the new adaptation to, get ready for this one, Millie Bobby Brown as Jill Pole. Here are all the things we want to see in Narnia 4. A prequel. Before we begin with things we want to see in the new adaptation by Netflix, we need to mention that the streaming giant is adapting C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia books into both TV series and movies. Yes, Netflix is in full control of the Narnia rights, and there are actually plenty of upcoming Narnia projects. While having millions of adaptations throughout the years, fans mostly remember the Disney movies adaptation. As you already know, the most successful adaptation to the C.S. Lewis novels came from Walt Disney Pictures and Walden Media, with the first film of the franchise, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, released in 2005. 2 more films followed, one made by Disney and the other one by Fox. Sadly, both of these sequels never reached the success of the first one, and a 4th film was considered a failure. Thus, Narnia 4 didn't happen. Until now. Netflix has, we really want to say saved, the Narnia franchise with a multi-year deal. This means Netflix has all the rights to the entire Narnia book franchise. Yes, we know we already said that, but guys, it's the entire book franchise. The deal also marks the first streaming program to have all rights to Narnia, so expect to see the complete Narnia universe on Netflix. In a statement alongside the announcement, Ted Sarandos, content head of Netflix, said, C.S. Lewis's beloved Chronicles of Narnia stories have resonated with generations of readers around the world. Families have fallen in love with characters like Aslan and the entire world of Narnia, and we're thrilled to be their home for years to come. But here's the problem. Well, at least according to most fans, Netflix plans to make Narnia more like Game of Thrones or The Witcher. This is not a great idea, and we'll talk about it later in the video. In 2019, fans discovered that Matthew Aldrich, the person that co-wrote Coco, would be working on Narnia as the creative architect. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first book in the Narnia novels. It is the first and the most successful one when it comes to movie adaptations. However, The Magician's Nephew is a prequel, and as it appears, Netflix will go by the following order. The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. Now let's see what fans need to see in Netflix's adaptation of the beloved franchise, shall we? Original actors' appearances. We're close to marking 2 decades since C.S. Lewis's book series, The Chronicles of Narnia, was released on our small screens with the 2005 film The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
But we saw the knife. The witch.
If the witch knew the true meaning of sacrifice.
The first film is perhaps the best film ever created when it comes to magical aspects, and in it, we were introduced to the 4 Pevensie siblings, Lucy, Edmund, Peter, and Susan, as they discover a wardrobe in Professor Diggory Kirk's home that leads them to the magical land of Narnia. As previously said, 2 more movies followed, with the 3rd one released in theaters in 2010, ever since fans have been waiting for The Chronicles of Narnia, The Silver Chair. Now that Netflix plans to start with their own universe of Narnia, we would love to see at least an appearance of some of the original actors that we saw in the Disney adaptation. Georgie Henley played Lucy Pevensie, the youngest of the Pevensie siblings, and if Netflix goes with the series first, it would be fun to see her doing at least a cameo in the later seasons. Skander Keynes starred in all 3 of the Chronicles of Narnia films, so he's also welcome to reprise his role even if it seems unlikely. William Moseley played the eldest of the Pevensie siblings. Then there's Anna Popplewell, who played Susan Pevensie, the second eldest of the Pevensie siblings. Tilda Swinton is welcome to play the villain in the Netflix adaptation as her performance was perfect, not just in Narnia, but in all of her film projects.
Our guest is hungry.
James McAvoy played Mr. Tumnus, half man and half goat, and while Will Poulter only appeared in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, a lot of fans would love to see him in the latest adaptation. More focus in the source material. While a lot of fans, including us, thought that Narnia begins with The Chronicles of Narnia, The Silver Chair, the author of the beloved novels wrote a prequel titled The Magician's Nephew. The story was supposed to place a foundation for the next Narnia novels. Despite the fact that this book differs a lot from the other ones, it is yet another beautifully written project by the amazingly talented C.W. Lewis. So here's what fans want. If Netflix starts with The Magician's Nephew, fans would love the streaming program and everyone involved in the project to focus more on the source material. A lot of movie makers tend to drift away from the book they base their film on, and we don't want this to be the case with Netflix's adaptation of the Narnia franchise. Popular books are often adapted for the big screen in order to gather bigger audiences. This is a great way to make books more accessible for people who simply don't enjoy reading. But when doing this, the creators need to focus on the source material. Just look at Vampire Academy. While the books are not ideal, the film manages to ruin the story and bring it to something even worse just because the creators believed it was good to change and mix up the story. So Netflix, please be loyal to the source material. Millie Bobby Brown as Jill Pole. Here's the thing. Millie Bobby Brown is young and has a long-going partnership with Netflix, with her portrayal of Eleven on the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. Since Netflix knows how talented the actress is, they could do some talk about her playing Jill Pole in their Narnia adaptation. Don't you agree? Before we continue with more things we want to see in Netflix's Narnia, make sure you smack that like button if you haven't done it already. Keep it simple, Netflix. Narnia was a successful franchise because of how they used simplicity in their magical world. Yes, there were a lot of magical elements, but the creators knew how not to cross any limits. And we would love to see Netflix following the rule of simplicity. We really don't need to see millions of never-mentioned creatures in Lewis's novels just so the series could be more diverse. If Netflix decides to go with more similarities to Game of Thrones, we're screwed. Tom Holland as Peter Pevensie. Tom Holland is known as Peter Parker or Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and because of his performance in the franchise, he became one of the most prosperous actors in Hollywood. But it is time for Holland to move on and focus on other projects, right? According to most fans, he would make the perfect Peter Pevensie. The character shows up in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and The Last Battle. Noah Jupe as Eustace Scrubb. Noah Jupe would be another amazing addition to the Netflix adaptation. Jupe started his acting career in 2015 by appearing in the television series Penny Dreadful and Downton Abbey. In 2016, he played in the spy thriller series The Night Manager. The same year, he also appeared in Houdini and Doyle. He might be young, but he's incredibly talented, and that's enough for Netflix to secure a multi-year partnership with him. According to most fans, he would be great as Eustace Scrubb, the Pevensie children's cousin, played by Will Poulter in the original Disney franchise. Do you guys think he's fit for the role? Also, what would you want to see in Netflix's adaptation of the Narnia franchise? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.